Every Star Trek, Strange New Worlds love story ranked worst to best. Star Trek, Strange New Worlds has its fair share of romantic pairings, but how do they stack up against one another? In a 2023 interview with Variety, Akiva Goldsman, one of the showrunners of Strange New Worlds, described the show as a lot of relationship stories in space. Following the adventures of Captain Christopher Pike Anson Mount and his USS Enterprise, Strange New Worlds has not only explored numerous relationships from many different perspectives, but has also experimented with a variety of genres in fascinating ways. Star Trek, Strange New Worlds explores many different kinds of relationships, but the show contains more romance than many other Star Trek series. While most of the love stories and relationships on Star Trek, the original series and Star Trek, The Next Generation, for example, only lasted for one episode, Strange New Worlds has been able to take more time to dive into its characters and their relationships. While Strange New Worlds has become a show about so many different things, Goldsman's description truly gets to the heart of the show's stories. After forming a connection with an alternate reality version of Captain James T. Kirk, Lane reaches out to the Lieutenant Kirk of her universe. While this Kirk feels echoes of the connection between him and Lane, he is currently involved in a complicated relationship with Carol Marcus. In the Star Trek Strange New Worlds musical episode, Lane tells the Prime Universe Kirk about her feelings for his alternate universe counterpart. Although Kirk acknowledges that he feels a connection to Lane, he reveals that Carol is currently pregnant with their child. Due to her traumatic past and connection to Khan Noonien Singh Ricardo Montalban, it took a lot for Lane to open up to LT Kirk as she did. While Lane did not blame him for his confession, she was understandably devastated by the news. Still, based on the events of Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, viewers know that Carol Marcus Bibi Besh will eventually call off her romance with Kirk and raise their son on her own. This would open the door for Lane and LT Kirk to explore the connection they have, one that appears to span multiple universes. Spock's Vulcan Finst Spring was first introduced in Star Trek, the original series' Amok Time, but Star Trek Strange New Worlds has given their relationship more depth. Spock and Spring were engaged in 2259, and Spock spent some time on Vulcan that year before returning to his post on the Starship Enterprise. As a full-blooded Vulcan, Spring approaches her relationship with logic, but she and Spock obviously care for one another. Spring appeals to Spock's Vulcan side, and the two make a great pair, although Spock's human emotions sometimes cause problems. After Spring broke things off with Spock, he embarked on a new relationship with Nurse Chapel. Chapel had long had feelings for Spock, and he had recently begun to develop feelings for her in return. Chapel's vibrant humanity brings out Spock's human side, and he appears more emotional whenever he's with her. While Spock is undeniably happy at the beginning of their romance, the pair's relationship becomes more complicated as it progresses. When Nurse Chapel is accepted to a medical fellowship with Dr. Roger Corby Cillian O'Sullivan, she accepts it without telling Spock. Strange New Worlds has rekindled the classic Star Trek spirit with bold adventures, moral quandaries, and yes, some unexpectedly tender romances. While it might not be the most romance-forward of the Trek series, Strange New Worlds uses its love stories to deepen characters, challenge ideals, and remind us that even among the stars, human connection matters. Let's rank every major romance in Strange New Worlds, from the forgettable to the unforgettable. 7. Khan Noonien Singh and James T. Kirk alternate timeline. Khan Noonien Singh is one of the show's most complex and guarded characters, so her brief, intense relationship with an alternate timeline Captain Kirk in Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow caught viewers off guard. Their chemistry was earnest, and Paul Wesley's Kirk charmed his way past Lon's defenses in a way few have managed. Unfortunately, because the romance took place in an alternate timeline and ended with tragedy, it left Lane with little more than heartbreak and an inability to act on those feelings in her own reality. A poignant, what could have been, but ephemeral. 6. Spock and Nurse Chapel. Few relationships in Strange New Worlds have sparked as much debate as the evolving tension between Spock and Christine Chapel. In the original series, Chapel's unrequited love for Spock was almost a running gag. Here, it's reimagined as a more grounded and mutual but complicated dynamic. Jess Bush's Chapel is witty, self-assured, and emotionally vulnerable in ways that make her feelings relatable. Yet the show's adherence to canon Spock's eventual marriage to T'Pring and emotional restraint casts a shadow over the ship. Their flirtation is sweet and melancholy, but its lack of resolution keeps it from ranking higher. 5. Captain Pike and Captain Batel. Pike's relationship with Captain Batel, an off-again, on-again romance between two commanding officers, is refreshingly mature. Both characters are aware of the demands of Starfleet and approach their connection with a kind of seasoned mutual respect. Batel, Melanie Scrofano, is confident, sharp, and one of the few people who can meet Pike as an equal. However, their story has yet to fully bloom or take center stage. The shadow of Pike's doomed future as revealed in the Menagerie arc complicates things, but their grounded dynamic deserves praise for portraying adult romance in a way that feels authentic. 4. Spock and T'Pring. In many ways, Spock and T'Pring's relationship in Strange New Worlds has done what no other Trek has, humanized or perhaps vulcanized an arranged engagement. Gia Sandhu's T'Pring is elegant and composed but layered with subtle emotion and quiet frustration. Watching Spock struggle between his Starfleet duties and Vulcan obligations and witnessing T'Pring's own efforts to make their bond work has added depth to a relationship that once felt purely transactional in the original series. Their cultural rituals, intellectual sparring, and Spock's comedic attempts at romantic gestures, especially the body swap episode, make this a standout, albeit inevitably doomed, romance. 3. Layan Noonien Singh and Una Chin. Riley found family affection. While not a romantic relationship in the traditional sense, the deep and abiding connection between Layan and Number One deserves mention. Una's mentorship and unwavering belief in Layan, especially considering their shared experiences as genetically augmented individuals, is quietly one of the series' most moving bonds. Love in Trek isn't always romantic, it's trust, loyalty, and chosen family. The scenes where Una defends Layan, or when Layan confides vulnerabilities only to her, carry immense emotional weight. In another universe, perhaps this platonic love would sit atop the list. 2. M'Benga and his daughter, Rukia. Another unconventional but deeply heartfelt love story is that between Dr. M'Benga and his terminally ill daughter, Rukia. Across the first season, M'Benga's mission to save her, hiding her in the transporter buffer, is quietly devastating. In the Elysian Kingdom, we see the full breadth of a father's love as he navigates an elaborate fantasy to give his daughter joy, even momentarily. Eventually, letting Rukia go to live as a non-corporeal being with the advanced alien entity is one of Trek's most bittersweet departures. It's not romantic love, but it is love in its purest, most selfless form. 1. Spock and Nyota Uhura. Burgeoning friendship and understanding. While Spock and Uhura's connection hasn't crossed into overt romance in Strange New Worlds and likely never will, their developing friendship deserves the top spot because it embodies everything Trek stands for: mutual respect, empathy, and curiosity. Ethan Peck's Spock and Celia Rose Gooding's Uhura share intellectually stimulating, emotionally resonant scenes, especially in moments when Spock mentors her through personal doubt or when Uhura offers insights into Spock's own humanity. Their dynamic gracefully sidesteps the easy trope of romance and instead offers a partnership of equals. It's understated but powerful, and its potential to shape both characters